Hey guys, and welcome back to the third episode of the new Gnomoria series by yours truly, Inzainia. Alright, so what do we notice right off the bat that you probably are screaming at me in the last episode about, but didn't notice till just now? We're out of food. So what I did was I set up all these guys to be foraged, and that's plenty of food. We've got a bunch of it being foraged, so we're okay. At this point in the game, you're not dying if you run out of food, because you've still got all the apple and orange trees that you can harvest, plus handfuls of strawberry bushes. Like there's what, 5 right there. So I mean, they're all over the place, so it's not a big deal. And we have all of our things made. We need to start looking at what we need to do. Wood, we need a wood carver eventually, not yet. We need a stone carver eventually. We'll go ahead and do the stone carver. Chisel, chair, and a workbench. That'll give them something to do. We need some storage. There we go. Crates. Pine crates. Any crates. 3. Let's do 6. And then we also need some over here. We'll do 4 for wood for right now. Alright, I need to build a wall, a block wall, get that back, and then we need to go to terrain, replace floor with blocks. There we go. Ooh, I like the way that floor looks, that pattern. It looks like a tile floor. So we're slowly getting some food back. It'll take a few. Alright, so let's go to designate area, dining room. For a reason. I don't know. I guess I gotta wait for him to replace the floor, maybe? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's cancel the designation on all this. There we go. So now, let's make this a dining room. We gotta wait, they got 3 more to do. Right there, 9 by 14. We want to make that a great hall. And then now we can go to terrain, replace floor, block floor. There we go. Oh, shoot. Cancel designation. Alright. Take your time, take your time. Terrain, replace floor, block, build. We want them guys. There we go. And then we want the rest of this. Done. There we go. Let's see what it's worth. 910, good. So it'll be worth about 1,000 or about 2,000 when it's done, which is what we want. So we're hitting close to 3 grand. I want it under 5 because I think at 6,000 you hit your 5,000, maybe 6,000. You hit your first milestone as far as defending, which means basically that at that point instead of just a couple goblins coming, you start getting goblins in armor. Now I can't remember the exact numbers, so don't quote me on it, but I know that it's, you know, under 10,000. So I'm going to let them replace these floor tiles, and then whatever my kingdom worth is, that's where I'm going to let it sit. 10, 11, so it's 200, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll probably go up about 400 more. All right. Still have a lot more to build. So, come on, build it. What do we need to do? Let's look. Wood, stone, cloth. We really need to get our tailor and loom going, but we can't do either one, really, until we get a bone needle. Don't need any of that. Not yet. We will need a distillery and a kitchen eventually, but not yet. Don't need that yet. We're going to need this soon. Let's see. I'm thinking we could go ahead and get miscellaneous wherever it's at for the kiln. Might be a furnace now. Yeah, it's a furnace, not a kiln. Kilns for pottery. We could do the furnace to start turning logs into coal so that we have coal for our forge and smelter. Don't need any of them yet. A lot of people like to start at the very beginning of the game with a tanker. I don't. I mean, I would love to, but I cannot afford the manpower. You need that guy, so... Market stall, bone carver, prospector shop. Yeah, there's really nothing that I need yet. The to make coal would be a good use, but not a priority. So I just don't want to stretch my people any thinner than I have to until... Alright, so we need to get a storage going. Do I have the storage built? These crates? Yeah, they did build them crates pretty quick like. I'm going to use, I think, this central room right here. Let's go to designate area. Stockpile. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to use this room. I don't know how, but we're going to. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is terrain, mine, wall, and I'm going to get rid of that wall. Alright, and then over here, I'm going to get rid of that wall. I'm going to leave that closed off. There we go. Alright, so what we want to do is build, let's go ahead and build a kitchen. Food and drink, or a distillery rather. And since we use two different people to do these, you don't necessarily have to do them in the same building, but what I'm going to do is right there my distillery, and then build my kitchen like so. That'll work. I got my distillery and my kitchen, and then I'm going to make all the rest of the storage. So let's go to designate area, stockpile. We're going to use that. We're going to set this up for food. I'm just going to... I don't like fruit. Well, all that stuff, sausage, meat, eggs, everything but fruit going there. Well, no, we'll leave fruit in it for now. And then all you have to do is grab on it like so, and it'll add this other area to it. Alright, so I want drinks also. Did I put drink? No, I didn't. Milk, wine, beer, and tea, done. And actually, I don't want drink there. And food, let's undo food and just go with fruit. Let's do that. That'll put, I think the only thing that we've got there now is just fruit. Yep, just fruit. Now what we'll do is, actually I need one more thing. I'm sorry. I need the grain. Plant, grain, done. So fruit and grain will go there, and we'll put some stuff there to store them in. I think you store grain and stuff in bags, but I'm not sure. And then what we'll do is we'll designate these front areas right here for food, but not fruit. We'll designate this one. Where's food? There it is. For drinks. So we got food going there, drinks going there. All of our fruit and grain going there. Alright, so they got plenty to do now. And I'm pretty sure that drinks go in barrels, food goes in crates. So here comes, he's making the barrels. There we go. So we got the distillery going. And I don't think we have a brewmaster yet. Let's look for a brewer. No, we do have a brewer. Alright, but we don't need drinks yet. We're at 84 still. So we will set this up eventually to make grain wine. As soon as we get some grain. Now we've still got this stuff growing. Got another day or two, and all of this should be harvestable, ready to go. And we will probably have to extend it over 3 or 4 more rows. Alright. Get rid of them. And we'll have the room to do so. How much wood do we have? Stocks. Items. We got 3 logs. Yeah, we definitely need to get some wood going. So let's go and chop some trees. That should give us plenty of logs. We still got plenty of trees everywhere, so we don't really need to get into groving yet, but we will eventually. There we go. Plenty, 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 plenty. Go to work. Cut down some trees. 3,500. Here, let me see. All right, so as I look here at the population window, with our current population, or I mean our current kingdom worth, which is 3,574, we need 300 more, and our population minimum will be 14. So we can go as high as 14. Now, how many do we have now? We have 9. So we could get, if we get this up another 300, anywhere between 300, well, when this finishes, our accessible population will be in excess up to 14. So that's good. I need to build wall, block wall, build. There we go. And so we can get up to 5 nomads on the upcoming month or season. Now, there is a trick to getting the nomads, and that is to wait until the 12th day around midnight, 1 o'clock, and then save your game. You can save your game, exit out, or save your game, wait for the nomads, and if you don't get towards the higher side of what your population says you can have in nomads, then you can just Alt F4 and then reload the game, and keep doing that until you get, you know, I don't typically do it like, okay, I can get 5 nomads, up to 5 nomads. I won't do it until I get 5 nomads. I will do it until I get 4 or 5 nomads. Sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes the very first try you'll get, you know, 5 or 4. You know, if I know that I can get up to 5, if I get 3, 4, or 5, usually I'll keep it. You know, and just count it into the intricacies of the game. But it's the, you know, when you happen to get like I don't know, 0, 2, 1, you know, that's the situation where you say, you know, no, come on. I mean, it's especially in the first few months. After the first full year, I probably hardly ever reload it. The only time, in fact, that I will do it is if I get 0. If I get 1 or more, I won't do it. Now, based on your population table, if you are supposed to get people, that is. If I'm at a point in my wealth and I'm not supposed to get people, then of course I'm gonna get 0 people. But if I'm supposed to get 2 or 3 people, or a person or 2 people, and I constantly get 0, then you know, them I'll F4 and until I get a person. But the majority of the time you don't have to. Long as I get, you know, 60 to 70+% of the amount of people I'm supposed to get, then I'm typically fine with it. You know, long as I get some people. Like this very first migration wave that'll be coming in the first of summer. If you get 0 people on that migration wave, you're actually screwed, because the goblins start coming, and I've got nobody. You'll have nobody to set as warriors. Now, typically, if I was to get, I would get like 4 people. I will take 4 of them and put them as soldiers. That's just what I do. If I get 5 people, I will put 4 of them as soldiers and then apply 1 of them to the cooking task, because I don't have a cook now. If I get 3 soldiers, or 3 people, I will make 2 of them soldiers and then apply 1 of them. I like to, basically what I'm getting at is I apply my soldiering in groups of 2. And that's because you really need groups of 2 for training. Now, they've made a lot of changes to training since I last played. Right now, if you've got 3 people in a group, the people that are sitting around and not training still get some experience from watching. They get experience based on the weapons that they're wielding, plus what they're watching being fought with. So it's not, used to be you only set up your groups in groups of 2. At least that's how I played. That was the smart way for me, was that you took 2 soldiers, put them into a group, in every single one of my units or my squads, only had 2 active players. Now I haven't set up my military yet, but all of my squads only had 2 people in each squad. So I would have 6 or 7 squads, or well, 5 squads, because I kept 10 soldiers. I would keep 10 melee and then up to 4 ranged by the end of the first, second year. That was my aim. I got my goal. I aimed for to have 10 melee soldiers and a couple to 2 to 4 ranged, depending upon tinkering, how it goes that second year. But what happens is I always would assign them in groups of 2. And that's so that they would either always be sleeping or be training. But they've changed it up a lot. Like the training grounds now, you can build like each training ground you can schedule 3 different scheduling times per training ground now as to who's going to be fighting there. So I can have one group fighting for the first 6 hours of the day, another group fighting for the next 6, another group fighting for the next 6, and then another group, and then that's it. So you would do it in 8-hour segments. But you could have 3 different groups training throughout the day, which would alleviate those other soldiers to either A, watch training, or B, go and do their normal jobs. Because if you've played around with it now, you'll notice that the military, there's no more of that, what was it called? Gnome something or another. Militia. There's no more militia. They took that out. Basically now your soldiers are soldiers, and if they're not training or doing soldier work, they will then do whatever jobs that you've set for them in the background. Now, if you're like me, you like to have, I'm going to let it go, because they're still actually doing things. If you're like me, then you like to have your soldiers soldiering. I mean, that's what soldiers do. They soldier. I don't want soldiers cutting trees and milking yaks and whatever. I want them soldiering. I want them training constantly to get better as being soldiers. So if I have to put up 5 or 6 training grounds so that all my soldiers can be training, so be it. I'll make room for it. That's their job. That's their life. They shouldn't be doing anything else. At the beginning of the game, there it is. Did you see it? Little cup milk rolling around under the screen? Because this guy down here was running with some milk. So we've got 5 people idle right now. Let's find out why. Because nothing needs to be done. That's why. Why can't you be out there helping cut down trees? I got 2 woodcutters. That's alright though. Let's see. I guess we've got 25 planks, so they're not doing anything. Anything else we need to do here? What does the bed require? Bed frame and a mattress. And I can't make a mattress until I can make a tailor, and I can't make a tailor until I can kill a yak. So, or if I get lucky, a goblin. I can't remember if goblins give bones. I know they give skulls. In fact, they always give skulls now, but I don't know if they give bones. I don't think they do. I think you still got to murder your first yak in order to get the bone to make the bone needle. So what we can do is we can get these miners going. So let's go to mining. And we'll do this. What do we want to build here? We need to build our metal industry. And you're going to say, what are you doing? Trust me, you'll see. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I could have just read 3 by 12 or 12, 15. 15 will be good enough. All right, let's go. All right. Build, workshop, metal. We're going to get our furnace. Any furnace, any bellows. There we go. And I think this makes the bellows. Bellows. And I think this makes the furnace. And the furnace. Alright. There's the furnace. There goes the bellows. Now he's crafted it. Workshop, metal, forge, mold, hearth, and bellows. Build that there. I can't remember where the mold's made. Oh, right there. Just blocks. So now it's just a matter of waiting on them. And basically I'll run all my metalworking stuff down this back wall, and then this will all be storage for the metal. Mold, a hearth, and a bellows. All right, what is that? My wood cutter, my brewmaster, my carpenter, and my chef. Oh, I do have a chef. I didn't think I had a chef. Huh. Well. Wow, imagine that. I didn't think I had a chef yet. Guess I didn't know what I didn't know. He's building, I think, the bellows. Yeah, it's right there. I can see it. And now they're putting it together. So now what we can do is we can go into the furnace and we can make some coal. We'll go with pine. This pine's the cheapest. Craft to, I don't know, 30. Sure. Alright, and let this guy finish this. Now we can make our bars, bronze bars, steel bars, Rhodes anvils, which we're going to have to make a few anvils and stuff. Because to build the next ones, the blacksmith, the metal worker, weaponsmith, and the armorer. Let's see. I think the metal workers where you could, yeah, it's statues and stuff. Blacksmith makes tools like axes and mining picks and stuff like that. The smelter lets you smelt all the crap that you get from drops and your excess weapons into bars again. So we're going to go with the armorer first. We need a ball peen hammer. I cannot remember what makes a ball peen hammer. Hoping it's not the blacksmith. I think it is though. So I got to build the blacksmith. I wasn't going to build it yet. I was going to wait. But anvil, a hearth, and a bellows. Build there. And they're going to use copper to do it, so that's good. I don't like having them 4 people just standing around. Alright, so let's do this. What is that, a pine clipping? Let's go. Got to get up all that. And that's the end of this episode. So we will continue on in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.